Couple of years down the road, you're hanging out at your home. You're enjoying a quiet evening in. You call it an evening for me. It's like a self-care thing that you read about. Uh, you were reading an issue of Pizza Weekly,
Fuck is I
and
I know exactly what Pizza Weekly is.
yeah,
Is
and
that a subscription or I expect that off the stand?
you there was like this little boy walking around your neighborhood, and he was dressed like a 1920s little kid who sells newspapers, and he's like, "Pizza Weekly, we've got Pizza Weekly," and you're like, and you kind of felt like I don't want to say like bad for the kid, but you're like, man, no one is buying because he has the shittiest magazines you've ever heard of. This
Pizza
kid,
Weekly?
he's selling Pizza Weekly. He's selling a newspaper that purports to be the news from hell, like Hell Weekly. There is Hand Towel Monthly. He just has the shittiest. Who would want to read that, you know?
Yeah.
So you kind of felt like, I'll help the kid out. And so you walk up and you're like, give me a Pizza Weekly. And he's like, gee, thanks, mister. And he gives it to you. And like you go to like pay him and he's like, oh, no, no, no. They're for free. He walks away. He's like, we've got all the periodicals about lettuce that you'll ever need. He's like shouting that to like people as they drive past.
Why would anyone ever need that?
I don't know. So you had a
Pizza
copy
Weekly?
of Pizza Weekly, and it's you're actually pretty glad that you got it because it gives you a couple of pretty interesting recommendations that you're excited to try out later, pizza wise. And also in the back of it, for some reason, they have like a self help thing, like a column, and the column is written by so did you ever read like Dear Abby?
Oh yeah. And Landers? Yeah.
Yeah. So it's her like great granddaughter who's like punk as fuck. So they ask questions to her and she gives really good advice, but it's very like there's a lot of profanity. So you were reading it, it's still called Dear Abby, uh, but there's like an asterisk where it says Abby. There's nothing explaining what that means though. So you're reading it and it says in response to a question about it's someone being like, Dear Abby, with an asterisk, I love my job, but it tires me out so much. What can I do? And a response is like, bitch, you gotta fucking take an evening to yourself every once in a while. You gotta try to just enjoy this fucking small thing, shithead, asshole. And so you read that
There's
and
like
you're
a lot of
like,
unnecessary swearing.
she's punk, dude. That's her thing.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I forgot.
Yeah, that's like her whole. Yeah, that's her whole thing. Um, Abby is like the logo. It's the black flag logo where it's like those those
Yeah.
four things or whatever, but it says A B B Y inside them.
Okay.
So you've been doing an evening for yourself, and it involves relaxing. It involves taking a very long, luxurious bubble bath.
Oh wait, I read this Dear Abby column from Pizza Weekly and am inspired to develop a self-care routine.
Yeah,
Jesus
and
Christ, Pat.
you're like, it's crazy the where we learn things. You read a few more of the Dear Abby column, but they don't really help. There
Yeah.
is, and you're like, yeah, there is a lot of swearing. You're like, even as somebody who who's been a comedian for a long time, even you have your limits, and you're kind of like this is unnecessary, you know?
Yeah.
So you're having a nice evening. You get out of the tub, you know. You you put on a your brand new robe. It's pure silk. And when it rubs against your still warm from the bath flesh, you know what it feels like to be alive. You know what I'm saying?
No, Pat. I don't know how a robe is going to make me feel that.
It
That
just it
seems
just
beyond the
feels
robe's
incredible.
capabilities.
It just feels incredible because your skin is dry, but the silk just like playfully tumbles over your skin. You know what I
What do
mean?
you mean by playfully? How is
It's
a fabric
silk.
playful?
Silk can be playful, I think, and and
All
you're seeing
right.
it happen in real time, you know? You you kind of like saunter out of your bathroom over to your living room. You put your hand against the there's only one light on in your light source in your living room, and it's coming from the vintage jukebox that you just got. It's completely dark otherwise, but there seems to be there's almost like the light comes from the jukebox, obviously, but it's almost like there's like a golden aura about the whole
Are we
thing.
talking like Happy Days jukebox or like the Double Deuce
It's an
jukebox? Like what kind of
old school, vintage jukebox.
like something from like a malt shop, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. The kind where it has like one of those the way that it plays it is it has like a robot hand and it goes and it grabs the record and
It's a
puts the record
record
down.
player.
Yeah. There's no records
Okay.
in it. But the hand does the whole like motion and like grabs something that looks invisible because there's nothing there and puts it down and then the song starts playing. You're not really sure like what the source of the music is, but you're like whatever. And
Gotcha.
so
It's yeah. They
and
left the
so
mechanics of it together, but it's okay.
and the way that it glows it glows in the darkness the way that like you think of like you ever see those old like oil paintings from back in the day, the Romance period or whatever? It's that kind of lighting.
Okay.
The first time you plugged it in, you saw that light. For just a second, you were hit with a feeling of like oneness with like every being on Earth.
I got a feeling.
And you look at it, and that song starts playing.
Oh no.
I got a feeling, ooh, that tonight's gonna be a good night. Night's gonna be a good night. Gonna
Tonight's gonna
be
be a good,
a good
good night.
night. Pull up my cup. And you just start going
Yeah,
crazy, like
yeah.
dancing.
Mazel
Because,
tov. Right?
because,
Don't they
and you
say
go,
that?
Lahaim. Yeah.
Okay.
Because the way that the music sounds coming out of this, it's like, it's Black Eyed Peas, the whole BEP family being represented on this track. But it sounds like it's coming from an old jukebox because that's what it is, you know? So it kind of has that weird, uh,
Apery,
yeah, almost like otherworldly sound, you know?
sort of shallow,
Yeah.
weak.
But you still feel that fucking bass right in your nutsack.
What? Why?
I don't know.
I
So,
mean, is it like pointed right at it or
well, yeah, I mean, you're standing, in front of it dancing,
yeah,
and you
but
you did the
you
thing
didn't say
where,
like you said my nutsack.
well, yeah, I mean, you're only wearing
Not even
the,
like my groin or like my lower half, but like you zeroed in on my nutsack in particular.
yeah,
So I don't. So to be clear, I don't feel the bass in any other part of me. It's
just right there.
just,
And it doesn't
yeah,
hurt. You just feel
no,
it.
that's fucking weird.
For just a second, you kind of get a you know that like that shivering feeling that sometimes happens when you pee?
Yeah.
You kind of feel that a little bit, but like in your nutsack.
Okay.
And
That's
and, and
weird.
you and you think to, and you kind of like think to yourself, well, hope Gary and Barry are okay. I'm sure they are.
Gary and Barry?
Yeah.
Is that what
And
you
so,
presume that I've named my testicles? Gary and Barry.
well, yeah, I mean, you did it like ironically, like just to be silly, but now you actually have come to think of them that way. And so you you're wearing that silk robe. You're doing that thing where you tie a towel around the top of your head, like, like the ladies do if they have like really long hair, you know?
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
doing that and you're just fucking dancing in front of this jukebox and you feel that shiver and you think to yourself, tonight is going to be a good night.
Mazel tov.
There's a knock on the door and you hear a voice say, Mr. Brooks, free pizza. And you're like, what the heck? And like you walk over and open the door and it's like a pizza guy. And basically he's like, yeah, so there was a prank phone call where someone had us deliver a bunch of like pizza out here. And we just, by the time we realized what was going on, I was already here. So, you can just have the pizza, man.
Okay, that rules.
He's like, yeah, this is probably kind of strange, but, I guess, yeah, and enjoy your night. And you're like, thanks, man. And like you reach into your pocket and you pull out a crisp $20 bill and
Okay.
you just like, and he kind of like looks at you and you like almost faster than like the eye can see, like fold it really quickly into like an airplane and you throw it and it lands perfectly in his breast pocket.
That is, I fold this airplane so fast.
So fucking fast, dude.
Jesus Christ.
And so, and the guy's like, his like eyes widen. He's like, thanks, mister. He walks away. So you're like, and like that was 20, that $20 that you gave him was like $20 that you had like just found on the ground earlier. So it's not even like this is even like coming out of anything like your
Basically like
savings, you
finding
know?
a pizza on the ground, you know?
Absolutely. And you put down those there's two pies and you put it down, excuse me, and you're like, man,
But he gave me two
and
pizzas?
yep.
Holy shit.
Yeah, again, it was that thing where it's like these guys did a prank phone call, whole thing where it's like they order pizza, it gets to you, but and then it's like, oh, what do I do? However, this is a few years down the road, and luckily they decided to share, to kind of pool their resources. But all of the major pizza chains um, have this new thing, the prank phone call insurance division.
Yeah.
They're people who monitor phone calls, or not phone calls, but orders. And so they look at it. It's kind of like, how sometimes you'll pay for something using a bank card and then someone will call you and be like, hey, I just want to make sure that this is you.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like that. They correlate information, and they look at stuff, and with a 99% success rate, they're able to realize, oh, this is a prank phone call. And they're usually able to stop it before the pizza is is out of the restaurant, let alone at your door. But this time, I guess they were slacking on the job, or he goes, maybe it's that 1%. The pizza guy says that to you.
I guess.
So you sit down, you know, BEP is still playing, and they're like, "Easy come, easy go, ba 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 ba." You know that part at kind of
Yeah,
towards the
yeah.
end, and you're
Mazel
like,
tov.
"Yeah," and then you go, "Lahaim." And when you say Mazel Tov, for some reason, you're not really sure why this happens, but maybe it's like the angle of your tight little throat when you were saying it or whatever.
Oh,
But
come on, Pat.
the words Mazel Tov like kind of echo a few times in your house when you say it. You're like Mazel Tov, 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 and you're like, holy shit, it sounds awesome.
That sucks.
And you're like, man, how this is a good night. How is it gonna get? How could it possibly get better? You know?
Yeah.
You turn on the TV and it's you hear like announcer be like, please enjoy the following ad-free run of Rocky. And you're like, fucking yes. So you sit down, you eat your free pizza, you smoke a fucking joint, and you just watch Rocky. And you have, in
Why
all honesty,
Rocky? Why
because
why is Rocky the selection here? I wasn't I, my brother loves the Rocky movies and they're good, but I was never like a guy who's like, oh fuck, I'm gonna sit here for
well,
10 hours and watch all the Rockies.
because the whole thing with Rocky is especially the first movie. The first movie is all you're really interested in as far as like, tonight goes, but the first movie is basically not only is it a story about a fictional underdog, it was made by a real life underdog, Sly Stallone.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the guy, yeah, you're like, the guy talks like a fucking idiot. He sounds just like a dumb, dumb guy. But,
The
this
Tulsa
movie,
King.
it was nominated for 10 Academy Awards,
It's a lot.
one Best Picture. It's like,
Yeah.
and the whole thing with him is like, he had so many people who wanted to buy this script from him, but the whole condition that he had was like, yeah, but I have to star in it. And everyone said no. Then finally, someone agreed to bankroll it. And they said the only way that he could star in it is if he stayed on budget the entire time. If he went a dollar over budget, he's done. And he still managed to pull it off. So you're like, it's an underdog squared. It's like an underdog pound.
That was a very intense Rocky oral history.
Well, to be honest, I did watch Rocky last night. So maybe I just have Rocky all the brain. So you're kind of like, and I had a great night watching it. Yeah, okay, yeah, this actually makes a lot of sense. Anyway, so you're like watching Rocky, and you're just thinking about that whole underdog thing, and you're like, fuck yeah, man, this is just a good, good night.
I
Um,
had a feeling.
you did. You before you go off to sleep, you wiggle your little buns over to the jukebox, and you make the selection. I forget. I think this might be on the White Album. I forget which one it is, but it's a song where it's Ringo Starr singing "Good Night." Do 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 do. You like hum that as you walk to your bed, and as that song plays, you look at your bed. It has never look it, and you're not weirded out by this at all. It's just something that you accept. That when you look at your bed, it looks like the drawing of like a Christmas card. That old style, you know?
Okay. It's a
It just
classic
looks
bed.
like yeah, it's like what's that fucking guy's name who has all like the shiny bright Christmas stuff. I think his name is Kincaid or something. Uh
Thomas Kincaid.
yes, sir. It looks like a bed that would not be out of place in a Thomas Kincaid painting.
A bed that would turn your grandmother on.
A bed that would have your grandmother screaming in her mother tongue.
Oh, in her grandmother tongue.
You slide underneath the
My grandmothers are dead.
Yeah, mine too. This one's for them.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Yeah,
So you slide in underneath the covers. Are you
it's
much?
probably warm as fuck.
Well, that's the thing is that you think it'd
Hmm.
be like too warm, but
Yeah,
while this song is playing in the next room, you like snuggle underneath these fucking covers and you feel a level of like quiet coziness and you like fall asleep before the song's even like done, you know?
great. I'm a great sleeper, to be honest with you. I'm very lucky.
Um, you dream of so basically in your dream, it's almost like it's like recapping how you got here, you know? So you were at your job, you were working with this guy named um, Fredley Freddings, but he went by Fred for obvious reasons. And so he was a guy who he was just like, he worked in customer service. He was just some dude. But for some reason, he always spoke like a not an old time radio guy, but like a hey, it's me, Fred Freddings. Like Casey Kasem, kind of,
Yeah, yeah,
That's just how,
yeah.
that's just how he talked. And he was fucking awesome at his job because people would call up, mad about something,
You hear that voice?
and they hear that voice like liquid velvet
He's a
coming
cool
through
guy.
their earpiece. Yeah. And so sometimes you would like stop what you were doing and like watch him work because he'd be like, Janet, I'm sorry that this happened to you. Please know that we'll find the man responsible and we'll make him pay.
What happened to Janet?
She was upset. The Wi-Fi, she like she didn't her Wi-Fi wasn't working, and it turns out that like she just didn't plug it in ever.
So
But
who
he
are
was
we
able
going
to.
to find and make pay?
Well, it's just the thing he says.
Jesus Christ.
And so this guy, he ended up throwing himself out of a 30-story built.
Fredly,
Yeah, and on the way
the
down,
30th floor.
yeah, and like at like floor
Jesus.
3, somebody just happened to like stick their head out the window, and they saw him and they heard him say, "I regret nothing," and then like, psh, and it's like, oh
Oh
no.
God.
And in his will, and you're never really certain why this happened, why he did this, but he gave you the old style jukebox that you now have.
Fredly.
You kind of have like
It's too
this, like,
kind.
yeah, you have this like dream, that kind of like it's like this weird flashback or something. You wake up next day. You walk over to the jukebox. You hit B69. You kind of like laugh a little. Sit down, make your breakfast, have your breakfast. You listen to Shimmer by Fuel. And there's a knock at the door. What do you do?
I'm in the middle of my breakfast.
Yeah. And it's about to get to the part where the drums kick in.
Oh yeah. I'm not yeah. I'm not expecting anybody.
So do you just like sit there?
Yeah. Just rock out by myself. Eat my breakfast. Dream of champagne dreams.
You're a rock
Strawberry
guy.
surprise.
So you like and you hear like the delivery guy You hear him just kind of like mutter under his breath, like, fuck this. And like he like walks away.
Dude, why would he be saying fuck? I'm sure he leaves packages unattended so many times throughout the day, like more than actually handing them off. The fuck is this guy's problem? When's the last time you received a package at your front door versus having it just left there?
Well, I don't know. Maybe this guy misses those days,
Well, I don't know what
you
to
know?
fucking tell you.
So he walks away like humming Shimmer by Fuel, and you hear him like drive away. You finish your breakfast, you walk over, open the door, and it's just like a package. And it has your address, but instead of your name or anyone's name, it just says the holder. And you're like, huh. So you bring it inside and you set it down. You kind of like look at it. And it's where there normally is a return address, there's just a bunch of question marks.
I don't like this at all.
And the
I don't like
stamp,
this
it's
one bit.
the stamp is a stamp that you have like never seen before. It's a stamp where it's a standard stamp shape, but it has a weird like that classic yellow smiley face type thing?
Yeah.
It looks kind of like that.
Okay.
Do you open it?
Do I live alone?
Yeah. And it's your day off from
Yeah.
work.
Yeah. I'll open it. The address is right.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And it looks like it's like and the handwriting like looks just like yours. So you open it up and you're like, well, this is fucking weird. Or at least unexpected. Because inside this box is like a very old instruction manual for the vintage jukebox that you have. And you're like, huh. Would you like inspect it or anything?
Yeah. I mean, I'd look at it. I think it'd be pretty neat to have, but it seems like the jukebox is functioning as expected.
Mhm. So you open it up, and the table of excuse me, the table of contents says like, you know, introduction, page 1 or whatever. Um, the next chapter just says, "How to, buddy?" with a question mark, and then the next one says, "Occult secrets." Which one do you read?
Flipping through, I'm going through this thing A to Z.
So, so you would like chapter 1? You're saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Just read it in order, like you
So
would a book.
there's an introduction. Uh, it says, "Greetings, future. Hope things are kicking ass for you." Anyway, inside this instruction manual, you're going to find everything dat you need to know. Not that, dat, D-A-T. It says, "Thank you for keeping the spirit of rock and roll alive." From, then a bunch of question marks.
Great. That sucks.
The next 2 chapters, that's all it has. And then it says, like, chapter 2, how to, buddy. And then chapter 3 is occult secrets. Do you read chapter 2?
I mean, yeah, I would read them in order so that in case any information, like it's like a instruction manual, it builds upon itself.
So chapter 2 says instructions, like it says plug into electrical socket. If electrical socket not available, use alternate energy source. Number 2 says use the use the buttons to pick the music you like. Then number 3 says, and remember, have fun. Have fun is written in like weirdly satanic font.
God damn it. What's the fucking deal with fine? I keep reading. I go to the next goddamn chapter.
The next chapter, chapter 3, the third And final chapter. It says occult secrets. And it says like it gives you a almost like a recipe for how to like do a spell. And the recipe is get 3 bags of Skittles, mix it with 3 bags of M&Ms, not peanut, mix them together, eat a big old handful of them. Then it says dot 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 and see what happens. The instruction manual
Christ.
like bursts into flames.
What the fuck?
It just like turns into ash and you're like, "Holy shit." It doesn't hurt your hands at all.
That's
In fact, your hands feel like oddly cleansed almost.
great. Great. I don't like this.
Would you do
No,
what the
no, I wouldn't. Because when I read those instructions, the book caught on fire in my hands. No,
so you're like, whatever.
I'm not fucking doing that.
You walk over to the jukebox, you hit um H 420 and that song Monday, Monday, can't trust that day starts playing and you're like, hell yes. You turn around and standing in front of you is this dude. It's almost more like the outline of a person. It's a
What?
it's a man who it's like the shape of a man, but like it's made like the outline of it is made out of that ash that just like burned, the book that just burned. So there's like this weird like ash man in front of you.
What the fuck is going on?
And you hear it like and it says to you like, "Did you get the Skittles and M&Ms, Aaron?"
No, I'm terrified at what happened at the end of our last interaction.
And it
Terrified.
kind of like sighs deeply. And then the uh outline of like the ash man in front of you like kind of like crumbles and like all of the ash like just flies straight up your nose
What the
like
fuck, Pat?
and it goes like into your body and stuff and you're kind of like what the fuck and it takes possession of you. It goes to the RBM Food Mart West, which is like right next
What
door to
the
where you live.
fuck?
Buys 3 bags, and you're kind of like you're aware that this is happening. Like this isn't like a possession where it pushes you to the back and you don't know what's happening. You're well aware, and your body's well aware. So you walk to RBM Food Mart West, or your body does rather, and it gets the 3 bags of Skittles, 3 bags of regular M&Ms. Goes home, mixes it all together, takes a big bite out of it, and I got to be honest with you, Aaron. You would think this would taste awful, but this is the most delicious combination of candy flavors that you've ever tasted in your fucking life.
This sucks.
You feel like you feel like your tongue like dance a little inside your
It's-
mouth.
I'm possessed right now. I'm fucking terrified, Pat. I'm not worrying about the dancing of my tongue.
The ash guy kind of like dissipates and suddenly you're yourself again and you're like, what the hell just happened? And then suddenly like you feel like really sick and vomit. You vomit out like all the Skittles and M&Ms that you just ate. It hits the ground and turns into like a portal. And then you just hear like as the portal opens up, you hear you hear Enter Sandman playing like really, really loudly. And the forces of hell
What the
burst
fuck,
through
Pat?
and they destroy the earth.
Great. because of fucking M&Ms and Skittles. Fuck you.
The Mormons put up the best fight, to be honest with you, but
I don't give a
eventually
shit.
everyone on Earth is consumed by
Great.
fire, and we all
Great.
go to hell.
Are you fucking kidding me?
You messed around with occult forces that you didn't understand, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. I guess that's what it was. Fucking stupid. Can't read
Uh,
the fucking book.
you burn to death, and the jukebox starts playing ba 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 ba, and you fucking die.
Oh, the jukebox is mocking me as I'm dying. Great. Fuck this.